What's going on, guys? Pdaaaawg here, and welcome to my post-Oscars reaction video. Holy crap, the audio is actually good this time. As you can see, I am fully dressed to impress this time, as I was last year, and we're going to talk about the Oscars ceremony, the 88th Annual Academy Awards. We're going to go over it. It is currently 5:30 a.m. on the dot. Holy crap, the Oscars just ended half an hour ago over here. We held a second annual Pdaaaawg Oscar hosting ceremony. That's not what it's officially called. We had some fancy drinks. We stuck around to the end. Last year, only 3 people made it to the very end, including myself. This year, we actually increased it by 4. I was the only person that made it to the end both times, but we had a newcomer, and they also made it to the end this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next year. But you're not here to listen to that. You're here to listen to the Oscar winners and how well I did in my predictions. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the 8 categories I made predictions in. I'm going to go over some notable instances during the event, because I watched the entire thing, of course. We were watching on Sky, so we got the Sky stuff in between. We got the critics or whatever, the experts talking about their kind of crap. I'm not going to talk about that stuff in too much detail, but yeah, we're going to get stuck into what actually happened. So Chris Rock was hosting. I think he did a better job than Neil Patrick Harris, kind of. Just because Neil Patrick Harris doesn't talk about that much, I think. He didn't really do that much. Sorry, my throat's a little bit dry because I've been up for like the entire night and morning, I suppose, if you can say that. He had a bit more funny stuff. His monologue dragged a little bit. Like he was talking about the hashtag Oscars So White scandal that took place for like the entire month and a half or so while the Oscars were, being prepared. That was literally his entire material. I'm not sure if I was the biggest fan of him doing his entire set on that. But some of the stuff was funny. More misses than hits, unfortunately. But what can you do? I'm still a big fan of Chris Rock. He's one of my favorite comedians. So I'm not going to hold him against him too much. And also because the Oscars probably censored him a lot, because the Oscars don't like a lot of, controversial stuff going on in their network. If you want to see controversial stuff, go see the Golden Globes. In the meantime, though, the first awards, funnily enough, this year were the writing awards, which I don't think has happened in quite a while. Normally, it's the best acting or the best supporting actor and actress awards. This time around, it was the best writing. This is where my predictions first came correct. Best original was won by Spotlight, and best adapted was won by The Big Short. Good on them. I may screen cap this a little bit. I don't think I need to be honest. I can just read out whatever's happening. You really need to know. I mean, you already know the nominees from my predictions video, so it's not too bad. Yeah, no big surprises here for adapted screenplay or original screenplay. No real shock there. The speeches were good, concise. Not much really happened. Like there was a big pause between like the significant stuff. I mean, sure, visual stuff, costume design, production design, blah blah blah. All that stuff happened. In the middle section, which normally happens in the Oscars. Like the final 4 awards were director, leading actress, leading actor, and picture, back to back to back to back. So no real shock there that a lot of the stuff that not many people cared about happened at that point. That was that was around 2 in the morning over here. So a lot of the people in my party were like, "Yo guys, it's 2 in the morning. I've got to tap out," and they stopped showing up. Mad Max, however, swept the awards as I probably anticipated. I didn't mention it in my predictions video because I didn't really think it was that noticeable, or that noteworthy. Sorry, I should say. Because yeah, Mad Max pretty much swept. No real shock there, I don't think. It won a lot of the visual designs, the costume design, hair and makeup, blah blah blah. Bag Lady showed up from the BAFTAs. She was there for the Oscars. She won, I think, what was it, like costume? I think she was for Mad Max. So good on them. Mad Max, again, one of my favorite films of last year. Very glad it's getting the recognition it deserves from the Academy. I think it won by a mile. It won the most awards. The Revenant also came pretty close for most awards. I think it was Mad Max and The Revenant, and then whatever other films came after that, pretty much. So then we'll move on to the awards I didn't exactly win from my predictions. Best Supporting Actor was won by... Let's do Best Supporting Actress first. Let's go in chronological order. Best Supporting Actress was won by Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. From what I saw on Twitter and all that, people were actually like, yeah, no surprises there. But I was like, really? She won? Like, I don't think she'd won anything before that, but sure enough, she won, so good on her. My guess was on Kate Winslet. for winning, but fair enough to your Alicia Vikander. I thought she did really well. This is a very good year for her. She was in both The Danish Girl and Ex Machina, so good on her. She's now an Oscar winner, so congrats. And then Best Supporting Actor, I knew this was a long shot, me going so for Sylvester Stallone. I should have went with my head. I went with my heart instead. Should have went with my head because Mark Rylance won. So fair play to him. Again, I said in my predictions video I would not be surprised if he won. He pulled out the victory, and yeah, Mark Rylance, who I'd never heard of until this. Like every other person that was nominated, Christian Bale, Tom Hardy, Mark Ruffalo, I'd heard of them. And then Mark Rylance showed up out of nowhere, and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm just going to take this Oscar from you. Thank you very much. I'm just going to take the Oscar. See you guys never. Bye-bye." So yeah, so fair play to him. He did good in the film. I'm not going to criticize him or anything. I would have liked Sylvester Stallone to win, but I kind of knew it was a far shot, especially because Mark Rylance won the BAFTA 2 weeks ago or so, 2-3 weeks ago. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, his chances are slightly increased for the Oscars. And sure enough, that kind of pushed his momentum to win. And come on, let's be honest, Mark Rylance looks like an Oscar winner. I mean, you just have to look at that guy once and you're like, yep, Oscar winner. Yeah, one thing I do want to point out is for the singing stuff that was taking place. Oh yeah, the Minions presented an award. That was fucking dumb. Why were the Minions presenting an award? Like, why? I don't get it. Ennio Morricone won for Best Music. Good on him. Flipping heck, the guy had to be like escorted to the stage. He got the first of 2 standing ovations in the night. So good on him. Writing on the Wall, the song from Spectre by Sam Smith won Best Music or Best Original Song. Sorry. However, Lady Gaga's song "Till It Happens to You," I think that got. Sorry, there's 3 standing ovations because that also got a standing ovation. That song, I remember like watching it with the people at the party, and I was just like, the song's not very subtle. Like if you listen to the chorus and all that, it's very. I mean, it's obviously like very. It's got a lot of social messages behind it, but it wasn't exactly the most subtle when it came to it. Normally, the best songs are stuff that you can get there's like a meaning to it in the forefront, but if you look into it a bit more, there's some more messages behind it. That song was literally like, here's our agenda, and we're just gonna literally spell it out for you in this song. So whenever that song played, I was kind of rolling my eyes a little bit, not because I hate the message, like don't disregard this. It's more just because the execution of it I felt could have been a little bit better. Nevertheless, the Academy was like, screw that for an agenda. We're just gonna nominate the James Bond song. And sure enough, Sam Smith won for Writing on the Wall. No big surprise there. Most Bond songs that are nominated for Oscars end up winning because it's James Bond. And then we move on to the rest of my predictions. Again, the 4 things that were the 4 awards that were presented at the final half hour of the show. So if you didn't stick around till half 4, screw that. You missed out on directing and main acting awards. Alejandro Iñárritu won for directing. No real shock there. I don't think anyone else really stood a chance. George Miller, I would have liked to have seen win, but I mean, I'm kind of glad that Mad Max won the 6 awards that it was nominated for. So fair play to Iñárritu for winning that. So yeah, that makes him the first director in a very long time to win back-to-back Osking, what? That's not even a word. Back-to-back Best Director Oscars. So fair play to him. He's very talented as well, so I'm not that surprised that he won, and good on him. Brie Larson won for Room in Best Actress. Again, no real shock there. She pretty much won everything on the way to the awards. So again, good on her. I like Brie Larson, and I look forward to seeing what she does now that she is an Oscar winner. Kind of surreal, kind of like with J.K. Simmons. It was surreal that he had won an Oscar because I'd seen him around in so many other films before this, and now all of a sudden he's got a flipping golden statue with him. So I'm glad that she won. Probably the highlight of the night for probably everyone, I think, was Leonardo Dicaprio winning an Oscar. That's right, he won Best Actor, Best Leading Actor for The Revenant. He was my prediction to win, and I was a bit apprehensive kind of with the Sylvester Stallone pick, but I'm so glad I went with him because he won. Standing ovation, rightfully deserved, because that guy is long overdue of an Oscar. He's a really good actor. I know that a lot of people say he's overrated, and I'm not going to say he's like the best actor ever. I probably wouldn't put him in like the top 5 best acting calibers ever, but still, that guy's been around the block for so long. One of the most likable guys in Hollywood. And again, he's so diverse in all of the roles that he picks. So I'm so glad that he won. He finally got the recognition from the Academy, and he won the Best Acting Oscar. His speech was great. He talked about global warming. He mentioned, the trials and tribulations for going over the film, The Revenant. And seriously, I just couldn't stop smiling the entire time because just seeing him holding the Oscar as he was making the speech was just so surreal for it. Maybe I'm blinded because the big craze about, oh, will Leonardo DiCaprio win an Oscar is finally been fulfilled. Just this sheer moment of it happening kind of makes you blinded by it. But I don't care because I'm so glad he finally won because, like, again, he could have won for Wolf of Wall Street, he could have won for Aviator. A lot of the films that he was nominated for could have easily been his had another performance not overtaken him the previous year, or in those years, I should say. So good on him. And then the final award of the ceremony, Spotlight won Best Film. Again, no real huge shock, I don't think, Spotlight winning because it was an Oscar-y film, I'd say, kind of in the same vein as like 12 Years a Slave. Although that was directed very differently, it still was kind of the topic, the subject matter and all that, and the actors that they got to perform in it. It was kind of like a big Oscar film, or like Argo was another pretty big Oscar film, I think. Spotlight was one of those films where like it encapsulated the Oscars and what kind of makes a Best Picture winner. So no real surprise at that one. So yeah, pretty happy with the results. I went 6 and 8 this time around in my predictions. So far I'm currently. I did better than I did last year. Last year I went 5 and 8. So next year will I go 7 and 8? I don't know. But regardless, that's it for my Oscar reactions video. The ceremony itself, I think it was better than last year. Still could have been improved a little bit. It's probably, I haven't watched the Oscars like in its entirety for a very long, for like ever since last year. So I look forward to seeing an Oscars where I can fully be entertained for the entire thing. There are a few misses like throughout the entire time. Louis C.K. did a very good job in his presenting. I thought he had one of the funniest jokes in it. The Girl Scout cookie joke, I think, from Chris Rock was also very funny. So they had some funny moments, a few low moments. I think they kind of hammered in the race comment or the race stance, I suppose, a little too hard. I think they could have improved on that a little bit. But apart from that, the awards given was very good. I think it was better than last year's ceremony, and I look forward to seeing what they do next year because I am a big, massive freaking sucker for awards ceremonies. As you can see, from throwing parties, getting dressed for it, all that there stuff. So that's it from the Oscars 2016. My name is Pdaaaawg. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was quick. It probably wasn't, but hope you enjoyed this recap of the Oscars and my reactions to it. And yeah, I will see you guys for some more footage next time, or at the very latest, I'll see you guys for the award ceremony in 2017. So see you guys then.